Hey, this is Tom from Inspiration Metalworks, and I'm joined today by my nephew Nick. And today's project, we actually have a couple of projects that are going on. So we thought we'd shoot a little video. Today is work on the lathe day. And so Nick and I are going to do a couple things. The first is a request for a shifter for a motorcycle. The portion where the toe actually does the shifting is so small that the guy can't get his boots in there. And so we're making, originally he wanted us to make an extender, and I thought about it and suggested we just make a whole new piece for the toe. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to pick up where we left off on the foot peg project that we had done. If you remember, we were doing some work with, originally we were going to do it in stainless, so here is a piece of the stainless that I was working with. And what I realized is it was really kind of overkill. It was way too much for what we really needed for the foot pegs. And so we're switching to aluminum. So I've got some 1¼ aluminum, 6061 aluminum, and we'll start working on that as well. So I'm not sure how much we'll show today. I am going to have Nick on the lathe a little bit, so we'll be working with that. We got to get some protective gear on, some eye protection, and we'll go ahead and get started. So thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon. So the first project we're going to do today is the extension for the shifter for the motorcycle. And what I've got chucked up right now is 6061. It's 1 inch 6061. And what's really nice about it is 1 inch is actually the finished diameter, so we'll just polish this a little bit. This is a really simple one to do. We've got a 5/16 hole to put in. It's going to be 4 inches long total. We've got 3 indentations to put in for the rubber grommets that'll go on here so that your feet don't slip. We're just going to take the ones off the old one and put it on. And then a little bit of finish work, and we need to countersink the hole for the end. I'll probably just do it all from this end, honestly. But what I will do is, I think I'm going to go ahead and do the drilling. This is a large stick out for a piece this size, but thankfully I don't have a whole lot to do other than the drilling, so it should hold it pretty well. I've already got it indicated and it's running true. But we'll go ahead and we'll do the drilling, and I'll probably just go ahead and part off at the 4 inch line and chuck up again so that we've got it good and stable and solid for when we're doing the ribs in there, as well as the actually I'll probably do the counter drill first and not worry about that. But that's what we've got so far. We've actually go ahead and we already faced this end, so the next step is to center. We'll go ahead and put in a center drill, and we'll start doing some drilling operations. Let's get this out of the way. Alright, Nick, you want to work on some of this? Go ahead and pull up a little closer.
Yeah, because I didn't want to go like that.
Yeah, exactly. Drop stuff everywhere. This would be a great time for a double boost kind of reaction, but not with my nephew here. Okay, so the way we're going to do this, Nick, is we're going to pack at it a little bit. We're going to come in and we're going to tap just a little bit, tapping at it. It's called pecking. And then we want to bring it in so that we go about halfway up that tip. That's how far we want to go in with it, okay? So we've already locked this, we've locked the tailstock in place. This is loose so that we can go with it. We'll go ahead and start up the lathe. Alright, so go ahead. Just pack it in nice and easy. Just tap, go ahead. Take it so that it touches, you can see, right? Alright, there, so now you're touching. Go in, and back it up, and just tap at it a little bit, like you're like a bird pecking at it. Alright. Alright, so go ahead and now start twisting it in. So you're good, you found, what we're doing is we're trying to find the middle without it drifting around. Alright, so go ahead and start drilling it in. This is called a center drill. Keep going. There you go, you see how it's spinning around? Good, that means it's cutting. And since it's cutting evenly on both sides, it tells us that it's still sharp. So that's a good thing. Right, keep going. You gotta get it halfway up the curved part. You're still on the straight part, right? So you gotta go halfway up the angled piece.
Nice and slow.
Okay, well, you don't have to go too slow.
I'm trying to focus on how fast I'm doing it.
Okay, good.
How fast that spinning.
Okay, I want you to do one more full turn. Good, alright, back it up. Back it all the way up. Good. So we're done with our center hole. Now the reason we did a center hole is it gives the drill bit. So when we put a drill bit in, right, we'll actually have to flip it around to finish drilling. But when we put the drill bit in, it makes the drill bit go to that spot. If you're just drilling in a flat spot, the bit's going to wander around on you and it may not go right where you want. Right? By having that center point, the bit goes right where it's supposed to go. Okay? And this is not the right drill size. So, let's go ahead and get the right drill size. And we'll be ready to go. So we're just doing some quick measurements. We got the 5/16 drill in here, and it goes to about 3 3/4 or so, not quite. And we need to get 4-inch length on there, so it's not a big deal. We'll drill as far as we can. We want to make sure that that's in there stable and steady. And then once we get this drilled, we'll go ahead and cut off. We'll flip it around and just do the final drilling operation. Probably a little more accurate that way as well. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll get it close. Now I'm going to put some, I think I'll put some cutting oil on this as we're doing it, which cutting oil is over here. Alright, so same thing, we're going to go in a little bit, right? But then the chip needs to have some place to go, so we're going to drill in. So take it, what I normally do is about 2 full turns around and then back up.
I'm on my third time reading that puzzle with foundation.
Good. Remember, don't push too hard, right? You can hear it slow down because you're pushing too hard.
Oh, I am.
Yeah. Alright, back it out. Get all those chips out of there too.
Oh, that was probably...
See, it was binding up, and the chips weren't coming out. So you back it up the rest of the way. You see how much faster it's running now? Alright, that's good. That's good for right now.
Because it went to about right there.
Well, we're doing alright. Okay. Let's pause this for now. We're going to go ahead and do this. Alright, so just doing the countersink piece, I just went ahead and sharpened this 1/2 inch bit, and definitely makes me happy to see it cutting as smooth as it is. I'm going to go back and see if I can't sharpen that 5/16 bit. And see if it doesn't do a little bit better on the other side. Alright, so at this point we're ready to part it off and swap it around and finish drilling. Okay, so we need to part it off. That's a grooving tool, that's not going to do it. Here we go. So Nick, what we're going to do now is we're going to use a parting tool to go ahead and cut this off. And we want the parting tool to be perfectly straight. Right? So what we do is we take the tool, and one of the easiest ways to do it is we'll take it down to the end, which we faced off, right? And we can set this next to it. And then we can see, if we look carefully, we can see where the straight line is. Right, so there's an angle. So there's about straight. And then we'll tighten this back up. Okay, so that should go in pretty straight. Now the next thing we need to check is make sure that it's going to cut all the way through. Yep, so it'll fit, it'll cut through. And the last thing we normally check is the height, making sure that it's on center. I don't have a center. Could swap my centers out real quick, but for right now what we'll do is we'll just check against this. This is going to be pretty close. So when we look at it, we want this part to be about the same height as that, and it is. Now there's another way that we can check that. This is a great thing. I love doing this one. If we put it up against here, this should be going straight up and down, when we look at it. If the height is correct, it'll be straight up and down. Right. So we're pretty close. Actually,
Yes.
we might be a little above center right now. So that's nice. Right into all that stainless steel shards. Good job, Tom. All right, so we'll bring it down.
I got the tiny
Yeah,
ones.
they're sharp. Okay. So we'll check it again, and that's much better. Okay, so now what we need to do is we know it needs to be 4 inches, right? So we'll line up our 4 inches here, and we want the cutter to be just past it, right? So the cutter itself, when I put the line of the 4 right on the end there, I want the cutter end to be right up against it. Now this isn't a very critical dimension. If it were, we would use much better measuring tools. Okay, so this is going to be a 2-part thing. Right, I normally do it with one hand, but we can see if we can do it together, or you want to just watch.
I think we can do it together.
Okay.
I really do.
What I want you to do then, I think you can reach. What I want you to do is I want you to be in charge of putting oil on. Okay?
So basically just like this.
Yeah, wipe it off on the edge so you don't get so much. And then you're going to put the oil in that groove. Okay? Turn it sideways. Turn the brush sideways so that it goes more in the groove. There you go. I think I probably should have sharpened the cutting tool before we put it in.
Yeah.
It's doing okay though. You know what? I think I am. Let's pull this out of here for a second. I'm going to sharpen this real quick, and then I'll be right back.
I need to press pause.
Yeah, we'll press pause. Can you do it? Press it. Push the button. Alright, just for fun, I'm going to see. I didn't check this ahead of time. I just kind of did a quick hand sharpen on this bit. I'm not very good at hand sharpening, but we'll see how I did. So Nick, now you're just going to drill through, so you'll feel when it gets all the way through. It'll get real easy. Go ahead and start drilling. Yeah, it's a lot better than it was before. Remember, drill a little bit and then back up to clear the stuff out. Alright, go ahead.
Yeah, I have to agree. This does
You feel better?
actually go a lot smoother.
Is it? Alright, back up. Alright, good. Yeah, I'm going to turn it. I think I'm going too fast. Back it all the way out, please. I want to change the speed. Let's go down 1.
Did you have to staple that together?
It's called alligator staples. Alligator staples, I think. Grab it. But no, there's a pin that goes between it to put them together. So it's like hooks on each, or loops on each end. And then the pin goes through it to secure it in place. Alright, so we're recording again. We went ahead and ground a bit to use for this particular tool. And this is, we don't have to be perfect on it, but what we're trying to do here is make the grooves that the rubber rings for the toe shifter are going to go in. So we really only have to do a depth of cut of about 1/16 of an inch. Do you know how much that is?
But
Alright, so 1 inch, cut it in half, that's 1/2, 1/4, 1/8, 1/16. See how little that is? That's not a lot, is it? So, alright, you ready? Let's try this first one at our normal speed. Without, you know what? We're gonna do a broad cut, so let's slow this down a little bit. All right, ready? Again, doesn't have to be anything super special. We would like it about a 1/4 inch, which we're almost there. Let's take just a little bit more. You know what? Do you have the oil? Can you put a little oil in it, cutting oil? Let's see if we can get our cut on it. Just a little bit of cutting oil on it. Let's see if we can get a nice smooth cut. Push down a little harder than that. Right, there you go. Let's see what this does. A whole lot of nothing now. Okay. Go ahead and stop the recording. Alright, thanks for joining us today. Here's the finished piece. You know, nothing special, just a foot shifter, some rubber some rubber O-rings will slip in here, right? I don't know how well you can see those grooves we cut in there. We did go ahead and drill the 5/16 and we, countersunk in there. So, 6061 aluminum. We'll go ahead and we'll polish this up real nice. We'll clean it up, and at the end, I'll shoot it with some clear powder coat for protection. But thanks again, and have a great day.